we've taken a lot of the things that you would put in a house that would be out of range for 99.5% of folks, but and put them in houses that are, and made them reasonably affordable.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Multiple years ago, I actually met Daniel. He had built a house that I looked at, and unfortunately at the time it wasn't the right time for me to buy that home. Loved it, loved the work that Daniel did. So kind of always kept it in the background. I got a little bored living downtown, and a little annoyed as well with some of the traffic. And so I started looking, happened to see that Daniel was still building on the east side, and quickly connected that this was a piece of land that was available. And I love the fact that I wouldn't have a smaller unit attached, that I would have the whole yard to myself, and started from there. Yeah, I think I wouldn't say that I was always a fan of modern architecture. I think after I left Indianapolis, I became a much larger fan of modern architecture. I think Austin has a lot of modern architecture in the new homes that are being built. Back in Indianapolis, they're still a bit more traditional, a bit more cookie cutter box type homes. And so I think the more I was exposed to it here in Austin, the more and more I love it. Daniel still had my phone numbers in his cell phone years later. So it just gives you the personal attention that you need and you want when you're building a home.
Yeah, so this project was, we had acquired a lot of land in this area and built some projects that were for sale, but this was a custom project, and I'd been talking to Clinton for a couple of years, and when we got the land, we just reconnected, and this seems like this was a good fit for him, and so he was able to contribute to the design and design selections and everything. So it was a full custom project. So.
The design for the kitchen, I happened to see some blue cabinets starting to become a little bit popular. And I absolutely loved the color of them. I thought it looked great. And I just absolutely had to have it. I was a little nervous at first to try to do something untraditional, just from a standpoint of how long will it stay in style or whatever. But I absolutely love that I did it. I love the tile, and it's funny, everyone that I show a picture of the kitchen to, the first comment is not the cabinets, which is what I love the most, but it's the background backsplash. Yeah, the gray tile. Yeah, everyone, that's the first comment is the backsplash.
It was interesting, to Clinton's comment about the cabinets. He wanted, when he first mentioned the blue cabinetry, I was a little, I said, well, hey, it's your house. We'll do it however you want to. And then, so we designed it with the blue cabinetry and the brass hardware. And then, it was like a week or two later, I got my restoration hardware catalog in the mail, and on the front of it was a kitchen, and it had blue cabinetry and brass hardware. And I sent it over to Clinton and said, hey, look, check this out. I guess your taste are on pace with the market.
The one thing that I really like that I think Verde does a lot of is putting a rooftop deck up on the very top of the home that you can utilize for watching sunsets, watching hopefully fireworks at some point for the 4th of July, and utilizing that space that's usually not utilized on a home.
Sure, we do a lot of decks over the living area, and I think they require a lot of special treatments, but I'm excited to it creates such a nice, useful space that you wouldn't have otherwise. And the interesting thing is when you get 20, 30 feet up off the ground, the kind of the view changes, and you get to enjoy, like Clinton said, you see sunsets are prettier, the night sky is prettier, there's so many, there's almost always a breeze when you get up there, and it's just a neat, wonderful experience that you wouldn't have without it. So it's a lot of fun. I think that another great space about this house is the kitchen, living, dining, and outdoor space. That's something that anybody's going to want to enjoy. And what we've kind of done is, in the grand scheme of things, I think we've taken some spaces that you would find in a much larger home. I mean, the spaces that people basically use are kitchen, living, dining, master suite, and so if you can imagine taking a several $1 million home and unplugging those spaces and plugging them into a smaller home, I mean, it's perfect.